One interesting quirk of Arco that I haven't seen before is that in lieu of a fast travel system, there's actually an auto travel system. And when the game first told me this, I was a bit confused on why they didn't just implement a warp point, but when I saw my small band of heroes waddle away along the mesmerizing Mesoamerican landscape as the music kicked in, I understood. They definitely made the right decision. While Arco has an amazing story and mind-meltingly good combat, the art of the game always struck me as the most interesting part. The different biomes each feel unique and Parallax backgrounds do wonders, but the interesting thing that I want to talk about is the perspective. You see, for me, when I think about 2D games, I always think in terms of top-down games and side-view games. Top-down games like Enter the Gungeon heavily benefit from making sense, while jumping and climbing are fun things to do in games. Realistically, you won't do a lot of that in most situations. Because of that, top-down games have the major advantage of just making more sense in terms of level design and architecture. Side-view games, however, are often much more expressive. Some prime examples of this are the gorgeous parallax backgrounds that are found in many of games, and just how much personality and motion can be conveyed when the top of the head isn't taking up so much space in the sprite. An issue of side-view games, however, is how spaces like towns are presented. As you know, in real life, when you're in like a mall or city, usually there's like local shops with an eye shot, and usually you don't have to triple jump to get to any of them. The problem with side-view games is that the buildings inevitably take up a lot of space, like the entrances of the buildings within like the main world. So you either have to spread towns out in like a long horizontal strip, like in Dirtmouth from Hollow Knight, or you have to spread towns out in like a long like vertical strip, as seen in like the resting grounds in Hollow Knight. In the resting ground, there's three major points of interest: the Stag Station, which facilitates the game's fast travel system, so you'll arrive from there a lot; some graves that are relevant because there's ghosts in them; and the Moth Lady, who you'll visit quite often. The problem with the layout of this area is that it takes an annoying amount of time to go between floors, just because each point of interest, for thematic reasons, requires its own distinct room, so you're stuck parkouring whenever you want to visit the Moth Lady, which is kind of awkward. I've seen games like Ori implement nice organic vertical feeling areas, like the treehouse for example, but not every platformer has the insane movement capabilities that Ori does, so you usually relegate it to like resting grounds or Dirtmouth treatment. But Arco sort of combines top-down and side-view into like a sort of over-the-hill perspective, and it works like stupid well. On the one hand, you get the amazing parallax backgrounds and expressive art of side-view games. On the other hand, you get like the absolute like a level layout that makes some modicum of sense that you get from top-down games. And it's just the best of both worlds from an aesthetics perspective. Like, obviously the gameplay is affected, but from an aesthetics perspective, I'd say it's the best of both worlds. Now, you're probably wondering, what has possessed me to make a video about some random game's choice and camera perspective? And the answer is simple: Parallax. Parallax is absolutely busted. And to prove my point, I want to draw your attention to Stardew Valley. In Stardew Valley, there's this shop called Pierre's General Store. And I want you to look at it. Take note of all the thoughtful and intricate details in it. The produce in like its little bin, like the shelves lined with stuff, the obligatory board in the back of the room. Now look at this empty field in Arco. Empty field, just nothing in it, right? No effort put in it. I like to argue that both scenes look good, while they both look good in their own way, okay? I'd argue that the empty field in Arco just looks better than your average room in Stardew Valley, and your average room in Enter the Gungeon as well. The empty field in Arco just looks better. And don't get it twisted, subjective vibe over objective beauty is the lifeblood of both Stardew Valley and Minecraft's art style, and I love both of those games, okay? I understand that, but from a purely, mostly objective rather than subjective, nature vista equal beautiful perspective, Arco just looks better. And that's what Parallax does. As someone who dabbles in who dabbles in programming, who dabbles in music, you can listen to the music, who dabbles in art, who dabbles in I'm making videos, getting multi-talented, someone who dabbles in good. I know what an empty field looks like in a top-down game made by an amateur artist, and it's not pretty, okay? It looks completely trash. You know, I made the grass, I made the dirt patches, I made the trees. It still looks garbage, bro. It still looks garbage. It doesn't look presentable, bro. It looks just garbage, bro. But Arco can add this empty field, bro. This empty field slaps a parallax background on it. Ugh, those beautiful thing on it. And you know the best part about the empty fields? They can make multiple empty fields next to each other, bro. Multiple empty fields next to each other. And guess what? They can use the same parallax background for both the fields, bro. All the fields. So they got multiple empty fields, bro, next to each other. And I'm over here making art asset after art asset. And their field looks 10 times better than mine ever could. Because it's the freaking parallax background. Okay, anyways. And you know, I understand that the parallax backgrounds take a lot of effort to put in, okay? I understand. I'm not stupid, okay? I can see the effort that went into them. I'm just saying that the effectiveness of a parallax background is not only palpable, it's very palpable. You could see it quite clearly, but it's also guaranteed. Like, it's guaranteed to look good. That's all I'm saying. I put so many trees. I tried to put shadows. I tried to put like dirt particles and like leaves falling. Nothing worked. It just didn't look that good. Not gonna lie, it just looks kind of trash. Like, it's just low key, like high key actually, high key trash. It looks high key trash. So yeah, it's just a bit frustrating. Yeah, anyways, you're probably wondering why I was talking about this random topic. Oh, it's so random. But you see, on this channel, I talk about a variety of topics. You know, sometimes I talk about games, sometimes I talk about like shows or movies, sometimes just animation or writing. I think those are like the 4 topics I talk about. Anyways, I talk about a lot of things, but the main thing I talk about on this channel is peak. And Arco is peak, bro. So play Arco, bro. Play it immediately. Absolute peak game. I'll probably do a video on like gameplay eventually. Yeah, Arco's so peak, bro. It's so good.